Good morning, everyone. Welcome and well done for being there. It's Monday today, and today we're going to start working or reminding ourselves about that root chakra, activating the pelvic floor and that sense of stability in many senses in our life. But for now, let's just bring the hands in our knees. Roll your shoulders back and down a few times, and just stretch in any way feels good. You can twist, you can turn, you can round and curve the spine. Just always be very gentle with the neck. And start deepening your breathing as you twist as well. Good. If you're doing neck rotations, always try to avoid whole rotations. I know some people advise that, but in my classes at least, please don't do it. It's not advisable. If you want to do rotations, you can do quarters, halves, and then you can do the other halves. But whole rotations can put stress on the neck. So sit in a comfortable position and feel the hips nice and grounded. Bring the stomach in. Relax the hands resting on your knees, the shoulders soft. Bring the chin towards the chest and gently close your eyes. And start breathing deeply. Bringing the neck aligned with the spine. With that uplifting sense from the top of the crown of the head. The jaw relaxed. The gaze up. Breathing deeply. Directing the inhalations towards the abdomen, expanding, and exhaling, gentle contraction. And on your own rhythm, you start lengthening the breath. Feeling comfortable in the rest of the body. Feeling relaxed. And as every morning when we start connecting with the breath, as every time you start doing it, as we can lengthen the breath, we raise from abdomen to chest. And if it's long enough, from chest to clavicular. And then exhaling from top to bottom. The more we lengthen the breath, the more the body will become softer, more relaxed, more supple. Good, and then inhaling and bring the palms together at the level of the heart, pressing gently. Bringing the stomach in, the chin towards the chest, lengthening the spine again, neck. Allowing the abdomen to be soft so you can still breathe nice and long. And we start with our gratitude practice, choosing 2 things that you want to say thank you for. Gratitude is just like another muscle of our body. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes and the easier the practice. So even though we choose only 2 things to be grateful for at the beginning of the practice, feel free to choose as many things as you want during your day. Then set your intentions for this practice. We will be focusing on the pelvic floor, and balancing the root chakra. The first one. Inhaling, raise the arms all the way up, chin up, head back, and exhaling, lowering the arms all the way down. Bringing the chin to the chest, resting the arms, relaxing the shoulders. And with a few blinks, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Sorry about my voice, it sounds a bit weird this morning. Okay, so we're going to start the asana practice by stretching the legs, activating the circulation. And you might find by now that some of the sessions we do similar practice, but the focus is different. So the end result is also different. You don't need to be thinking about the end result, but I would like you to be focused in the intention, whether it's your own intention, your personal intention, or whether it's the focus of that class, as today on the root chakra. So some of the exercises that we're going to be doing today, we have been doing before, but just bring the attention to that area. So bring the feet together and then bring the hands behind the hips and bring the hands flat on the floor, but with the fingers pointing out away from you. And then bring the chest up, shoulders and elbows closer from behind, and then contract that lower part, the pelvic floor, and look up. So don't focus so much on bringing the knees towards the sides, because when we do that, then we have a hip opening and the pelvic floor is more relaxed, but just contract the pelvic floor. Looking up. If the upper back is nice and active by bringing the shoulders back, then allow the head to hang freely. But keep engaging the pelvic floor. One more round of breath here. Good, and then bring the chin towards the chest, always keeping the upper back active before we move the leg. And then bring the hands in front of you. Bring them on the knees, elbows bent. And then bring yourself forward. Stomach in. The neck is soft. And then slowly allow the chin to come towards the chest. Just as a counter pose. Good, and then inhaling and keep the right leg where it is, exhaling the left leg towards the back. Here in this position, some people struggle a little bit, so make sure you raise the hips up if that's the case, so you can have both hips sitting, and being square, because there's a tendency to have that left hip slightly elevated. And if that's the case, notice how the spine is curving. So it's better to raise the hips and have the spine straight. So again there, we're going to bring the hands on the knees, and then we're going to roll the shoulders back, bring yourself forward, chin up, and then exhaling round it. especially when we round, and then we can contract again the pelvic floor. And twice more, inhaling, exhale. And one more, inhale, exhale. Good, and then we're going to twist towards the left side, bringing the left arm around the waist, and the other hand, right hand is still on the outside of the. And again, activate pelvic floor. Bring the chin towards the chest, and perhaps you notice that the twist is not so deep because there's another different position when we have the legs just crossed, but that's absolutely fine. Just focus more on your pelvic floor more than on the twist of the spine. Making sure the neck is soft. And with the next inhalation, unwind the arms, bring them all the way up, looking up, and exhaling, lowering down. Good, and then using some support, release the left leg, then the right, shake and bounce. And then we keep the left leg to the front, the right one to the back. And if it's in this side where it feels different, then use the props on this side. Sorry. Then bring the hands on your knees and inhaling, chest forward, elbows back, shoulders back. Look up and exhaling round. Focus on the pelvic floor. Squeezing, inhaling and exhale. One more, inhale and exhale. Good, and then bring the the left hand on the right knee, and then wrap around with the other hand. Chin down. Pelvic floor active. Stomach in. Breathing long. And if activating the pelvic floor is something that is quite challenging for you, and that's just a reminder that we need to keep more in mind in different actions in the day, different moments of the day. Inhaling, come back towards the center, bring the arms all the way up, and exhaling, lowering down. Good, and then lean towards the left, release the right leg, and then the left, bounce it up. So now, we're going to come on tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, soften the elbows. And here on tabletop, for most people, would be easier to engage the pelvic floor by tucking the toes under. So you can do that. Let's all do it together. And then once the pelvic floor is active, then inhaling and lifting the knees off the floor, coming into the downward facing dog. And then heels off the floor, keeping the pelvic floor nice and active. And then slowly again coming onto your tabletop. And up, arching the spine, looking towards the ceiling, tailbone up as well. Good, and then align the spine. Pelvic floor nice and active. Bring the hips towards the back and come up again on your downward facing dog. Heels towards the mat first, and then inhaling, heels off the floor. Activate the pelvic floor, especially as you bend the knees and bring yourself back again onto your tabletop. Very good, and then arch the spine, soften the elbows, and look up. We do again the same sequence, align the spine, inhaling, come up into downward facing dog, flat feet. Inhaling, heels off the floor, start bending the knees, pelvic floor bend. And arch the spine, looking up. Exhaling, just round the spine from here. And stretch the toes, bring the hips towards the back. Stretch the arms in front of you. Bringing the knees together. Forehead down. And perhaps you haven't activated the pelvic floor here before while we were doing this position, the head position. Try to do it now. It'll be easier as we squeeze the thighs together also, knees together. And keep breathing. Remember, when we are in these types of forward fold, whether it's a head position or child pose, if it's not very comfortable for the neck, you can always use the support of the arms, bending the elbows, or a cushion to rest the forehead or block. Good, and then inhaling and walk back with the hands. Sitting on your heels, bringing the knees together. Again, this is a very good position to activate the pelvic floor. Bringing the tailbone slightly back, arching the spine would be a little bit easier. Shoulders back and down. Good, and then inhaling, bring the arms all the way up, looking up. And then exhaling, bringing the arms behind the spine, interlacing the fingers, bringing the chest forward, looking up. Keep engaging, bringing the knees, squeezing together. Breathing slowly, keeping the arms very active. And then bring the chin towards the chest. Release the hands and bring them all the way up. Arching the spine again. And as we exhale, we're going to come into our child pose. Bringing the arms next to the body, forehead down. Or as I said before, if you rather have the hands in front of you to have that support for the head, please do so. And breathe slowly. Then activate the core. Notice how when we activate the core, then it's easier to come up. And then when we are in an upright position, then it's easier to activate more the lower part of the abdomen and the pelvic floor. So bring the hands under the shoulders and keep the knees together. Now we're going to do shoulder stretch by threading. You can again here tuck the toes under if activating the pelvic floor is challenging for you. Or you can just keep the focus and engage it. So bring the right hand straight in front of you. And then threading, exhaling, bringing the shoulder resting on the mat. And then gently this side of your face, left side. Keeping the arm active, the fingers well spread, thumb towards the ceiling, and keeping the arm active, the triceps. And even though we feel the twist on the spine, we're focusing more on that root chakra, engaging. Breathe slowly. One round of breath. And then engage the core, inhale, gain control with the hand, opposite hand. Bring the hand towards the sun and then exhale all the way down. Again, engaging the core. If it was challenging to keep the core engaged through the whole movement and practice, then tuck the toes under. It will be a little bit easier. Inhale and bring the hands to the side, and exhaling through it. And keep breathing slowly. And thinking about the energetic level of the practice. That reminds us that the yoga practice gives us, it's not just about the physical body, but also about the way we feel, about the place that we're at, about whether we are what we want to be, or whether we can be in a better place. It's important to check every now and then, so we can grow, we can be happier. One round of breath here. Engage the core and inhale, stretch the arm all the way out towards the side, and then exhale and bring it down. Good, and then tuck the toes under if they weren't tucked under. And then bring the hips towards the back. Bring the hands a little bit closer and then roll back, stretching the hands and rolling on your toes. The heels don't need to be all flat on the floor, just find that stretch and keep the pelvic floor active. And then bring the knees all the way down and lifting it, the hips, the knees, and walking back on the forward fold. And then from there, very slowly rounding the spine, start coming up to standing. Shoulders back and down. Good, so then we come on the top of the mat and we open about the length of one leg. Bring the hands on your hips and then start bending forward. So we're going to stay with the upper body parallel to the floor, soften the knees, bringing the stomach in to align the spine and feel the pelvic floor active again. You might feel that you need to soften the knees a little bit more or straighten just slightly to find that easiness on the activation of the pelvic floor. And then you're going to bring the right hand on the floor, and by that, by bringing the hips a little bit higher, perhaps it's even easier to feel that root chakra activated. Now inhaling, bring the opposite arm up, but not too much, not twisting too much, not exaggerating too much, because the hips need to be more squared to keep the pelvic floor active. And then we can bring the hand on the hip and just look towards the side instead of looking up. Keeping the toes active, feeling the stretch on the back of the legs, running that energy from our feet, which are also part of our routine practice. Keeping us connected, keeping us balanced. Okay, and then we change hands and keep breathing. And remember, if as we practice, then we realize that there are some imbalances in the body, in the way we feel, in our energy levels, in our chakras. It's absolutely fine. It's just good to notice so we can modify this. Energies keep moving and changing. We just need to be aware of them so we can bring them back to balance. Good, and then with the next exhalation, bring the hand down on the floor, and then bring the hips slightly lower down, squatting. Just for 3 rounds of breath. Again, there it's easy to keep the pelvic floor active. So I invite you to keep thinking the rest of the day about how happy we are in the place we are with our life, with our work, with our relationships. Tomorrow is full moon, so we can do some work also energetically with this. But first, we need to find out in the place we are at. And where is it that we want to move towards? Where are the things that we are happy with, and where are the things that we want to change? Okay, and then inhaling, lifting the hips slightly higher by straightening the legs, bringing the hands towards the right foot, inhaling and bring the foot forward, left foot. And then once the feet are closer together, then slowly rounding the spine, coming up to standing, shoulders back and down. Just a few times. Well done. Now grab your blanket and get ready for your Savasana. Covering your body, keeping that warmth and keeping that work. Stretching the legs, the arms. Close your eyes. Relax the jaw. Bring the gaze up. And allow your body to feel relaxed, to feel grounded as we let go of any tensions. It feels good to let go. It feels good to feel that even when we're doing nothing, everything still working in the perfect way. Even your breathing knows what to do. So allow it to come in and out of your nose freely. Softly. And gently start wiggling your toes and your fingers. Breathing deeply. Inhaling, bringing the feet together. Bending the knees one at a time, lifting the spine, chin to the chest. Roll yourself towards the right or the left. Global pressure. When you're ready, inhale and use your arms to bring you to a sitting position. Legs crossed, shoulders relaxed. Inhale and bring the palms together at the level of the heart. And we're going to sing one on as a way of union and to close the session. Inhale deeply. Inhale and exhale. We're keeping the palms together. With the next inhalation, bring the thumbs towards the third eye for the right thoughts. And exhale. Inhale and bring them closer to the mouth for the right word, right say. And exhale. And inhale and bring them closer to the heart center for the right feelings and compassion. And exhale. And with a few blinks, open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your practice. I hope you enjoyed it. And if there's anything that comes up from this practice, then write it down in a piece of paper, and then we can do some other practice tomorrow with the full moon. Have a lovely day.